So we're going to be working on our anti-extension or sagittal plane stability. This is essentially a standing plank with rings. And you can really vary your speed through these. Sometimes I like to do fewer reps and just move really slowly. Points of emphasis are keep your core and your glutes locked or really tight, and then only move through your range of motion with your shoulders as far as you feel strong and comfortable. And then make sure you keep your spine neutral, okay? So similar to the ring rows, I can vary my feet position to make this exercise easier or harder. So if I move my feet back, that's going to create a much bigger challenge for me than if I move my feet forwards. And I'm still working, but not quite as hard. Transverse plane stability or anti-rotation exercise. One of the best core workouts for cyclists is any sort of anti-rotation that really helps us with our cornering, working on opposing forces, staying stable on the bike. So this one, you're going to keep your feet pointing straight forward and then lean out a little bit and then push the ring away from you. And you can really vary the speed here if you want to move slowly. That's fine. I'm working really hard to stay braced and stay strong throughout this exercise. Again, moving your feet position is going to make this exercise either easier or harder. Okay, so if I have my feet more directly under me, so less of a lean, that's going to be a little bit easier. Or if I have more of a lean, it's more of a challenge. Sled push, these are great for working on explosive power. So you want to do this with your arms extended or bent, either is fine. And basically you're trying to push the weight on the sled as fast as you can. So moving your feet really fast. So if you don't have access to a sled, a great alternative are box step-ups. And I like to do these with a kettlebell in the goblet position. You want to move pretty quickly on these in order to simulate the same response that you would get with a sled. So I'll show you what that looks like. So holding the kettlebell here. And I'm already starting to breathe heavy. It's a great exercise, good for explosive strength. It's going to work your quads, your glutes, and you're going to be using your core to stabilize yourself, especially if you have the kettlebell in that goblet position. So have fun with this one. Deadlifts. So the deadlift is such an effective exercise. It's really, really good at building both hamstring and glute strength. And when done properly, is a really safe exercise. But I want to make sure you're doing it right. So I want to take the time to go through the movement. Okay, so I like to do these barefoot. I like to think about screwing my feet into the floor, finding 3 points of contact underneath the big toe, the little toe, and the heel. If you're wearing shoes though, that's totally fine. And that way you want to think about having the bar be over your laces when you set up. Okay, so the barbell should either be over the mid-foot or over your laces. A big thing here is this is a hip hinge exercise. Okay, so you are shooting your hips back, not squatting down. So when you get set up, your hips are about mid-height. You grab the bar a little bit wider than shoulder width, sort of where if your hands were to just fall down, that's where you'd grab the bar. Okay? Now notice I'm not bending really low here, pretty close to your shins, if not touching your shins. Now, when I'm down in this position, I'm gonna pull back on the bar a little bit and really brace my core. Okay, this is where I wanna get super tight. So I wanna really feel my lats engage, and I wanna feel my core be super, super tight. Then I'm gonna think about having my chest up so that it's pointing towards the wall, and I'm gonna stand up. Now, from here, I'm gonna lower down. I need to stay engaged, I need to stay tight. I'm not just dropping the barbell. Okay, the other thing is notice how close the barbell stays to me. So sometimes a good exercise to do to warm up is this, where your hands just track your legs. Okay, the barbell should never be moving far away from your legs here. Okay, so those are deadlifts. Let me know if you have any questions. Have fun with them. Another alternative with the deadlifts is you don't have to use the barbell, okay? You could use a kettlebell. That's totally fine. You can go up pretty high in weight with a kettlebell. Everything else stays the same, okay? You want it pretty close to your body. You're gonna hip hinge down, really emphasizing that the hips are going back, right? Rather than squatting down. Engage your lats, engage your core, chest comes up, and then you stand. Okay, so really effective, especially if you're just starting out. Don't go to the barbell at first, right? Start with a kettlebell. Dumbbells are fine too. You can use 2 dumbbells. Same thing, deadlift that way. So let me know if you have questions. Have fun with this. Points of emphasis for the push-up are, we want to keep our spine neutral, okay? So we don't want it to be sticking our butt up or rounding our back. And we really want to make sure our neck is neutral as well, that we're not craning our neck up or looking down. So I like to think about keeping my eyes looking straight down towards the ground, and as if there was a laser beam coming out of my head and it was shooting towards the wall. The ring rows are such a great exercise. They're an excellent complement to push-ups, and they're a really, really good way to build strength and kind of work towards a pull-up. Ring rows are really easy to modify in terms of making them easier or harder. Points of emphasis for the ring row. You want to grip the rings about shoulder width, and then you're going to lower yourself back until your arms are straight. Okay. So your arms should be fully extended here, and then you're gonna pull up, bringing your chest up about as high as you can, and then pause for just a second, and then lower yourself back down. A way to make the ring row easier is to put yourself in less of a parallel position with the floor. So if I'm here, that's going to be easier than all the way down here. So great way to progress that exercise. Have fun with these.